My name is Yin Myo Su, and it means all kind of politeness put together in Burmese language. Yin means politeness, Myo is kind of, Su is togetherness. So I have to be a polite person because I wear this name. Well, Inle Princess Group is my family business, and so I'm the second generation in our family to be in the hospitality business. I literally grew up in a guest house when I was little, so I did what I did because that was how I was raised in a way. But also, all these tourists who came to my parents' guest house in those days, they were like the window to the outside world. The tourist has taught me so much that I can't things that I can't learn in my country in those days. But at the same time, um, they also encourage me to learn to appreciate of my own roots, my own culture, and be appreciative of what we have here in the lake. So it's a lot of childhood memories. It's also because of there is learning, there is also sharing. That's one of the reason I think that I like to be in hospitality. The cool resorts. Um, I think the coolest resort I may say is I feel like this is not just a business. This is not just a hotel. This is like a kind of a playground for me, or a kind of a village where my team and my family, it's like a big fat family, and then there is a kind of a sense of community which I really appreciated, because again my childhood was filled with souvenirs and good memories of the true sense of community, and these are the kind of values that I really appreciate. So even though it is a business, for me it still is a village. It's very meaningful, and it's like my life purpose. So I think I would say that those are the coolest thing, because of the coolest thing I have right now is things that money can't buy. This is what we used to call like smokeless industry. Uh, so people say that it's an industry that is like smoke free, but in reality I also found that it's not really true, because when people travel, there is a lot of carbon footprint. There is also a lot of waste to be managed. There are also sometimes, because we want to create whatever is available for demanding clients or tourists who want to more or less have comfort food. For example, I'm saying this because of I don't want to serve like Norwegian smoked salmon in our resort. Not because I don't appreciate the Norwegian salmon. Of course, I do love Norwegian salmon. But when people are traveling already, why we should make that Norwegian salmon fly over to Inle Lake when we have plenty of local fish? That kind of thoughts that I have, and I think that eat local or promoting local culture, promoting local fruits and vegetables. I think that's why people travel, right? So why we have to, why we have to do things that what we are not. I think that the future of the tourism should not be like creating a theme park or a Disneyland. Um, again, not that because I don't like a Disneyland, but what I mean is that the authenticity will be, at the end of the day, that would be what the true brand of the destination is. So I hope that Myanmar tourism industry we're going to develop based on authenticities, based on transparency, accountability, sustainability, and also being true to ourselves, and really appreciate to to share, but also to learn from other cultures. I really think that tourism industry could be also um, um, a tools, or um, something that would really allow human being to learn to appreciate about our different cultures, our different ways of lives, and that have this mutual understanding and respect. I wish that in 5 to 10 years, maybe 10 years at least, that tourism industry could be like a way for people to discover the world, but also discover themselves, and that it could really bring a much more compassion, a much more um, um, empathy to the differences that we have, and learn to appreciate all these differences. So I think that people will continue to travel um, because of uh, because of people are curious in general. They like to discover, but I wish that in future it will be a much more responsible and sustainable way of doing what we like doing while visiting. So I don't know if I answered the question, but I see that because of the challenges that the war went through, um, I think that people will really travel or consume or decide or think differently in 5 to 10 years. If I have to share my personal beliefs and how do I travel at, for the first place, because I can only give what I believe in. I can only do um, fully when I really enjoy something. So I think that I really think that the customer or the tourists who come to our properties are more or less is people that are similar to myself. For example, when I travel, I like to see again, of course, the real thing, the real authenticity, and I don't like to be treated like a cow to milk or or being cheated in any manner. I mean, I don't want to see something that is fake. So I I think that that's what people in general are looking for, is that the authenticity and the honesty in the way that we've been treated or we've been received in when we travel. So for me, yeah, I think that authenticity and honesty is very important when you are experiencing traveling or visiting a countries or a little village or a art and craft center. It needed to have this true to self, true to other. Nowadays, people talk about ecotourism or sustainability tourism, and I mean, these are the trend or the term that we use. Um, it's an sounds like it's a really new buzzwords around across all industry, but especially in tourism, it's like ecotourism and so on. But in reality, again, it's go back to the authenticity, the honesty, and being true to self and to other. Basically, that's it. And when we talk about the ecotourism, it's also what we say like sharing economy to the area where you are visiting. It's not only one brand or one corporate who would monopolize everything, but that you will share with the community of the destination where the tourists may be visiting, because it's not sustainable that only one big family or one big company we're going to receive all the advantage of the industry. Instead, if people for example, people in Inle area think that tourists are noisy, that they don't want to see them, it will never be a good place to visit anymore. So um, it is very important for people in our industry to make sure that this destination remained a good place to live already for the community. If it is a good place to live, it will definitely be a good place to visit. So it's important that the local community well-beings and they've been included in our business plan or whatever we want to do, that they also get a benefit and they feel like they've been treated with respect, that they also their life has been better because of the tourism. Otherwise, it will never be a good place to visit for any tourist. And so I think that we have no other choice than always creating what I always call a win-win-win situation. A win for me, a win for you as a visitors, and a win also for the community or the surrounding nature and culture and people who, who made this destination a wonderful, amazing place to visit. So I think it is possible, and I really want to somehow prove it to myself that I I feel extremely sometimes a little bit frustrated or disappointed that, oh, you're not making business as a business, that there is too much you know too much ambition, that we also need to invest in community, we also need to invest in the environment, but that's I am obligated to, because without all this, how could this business be sustainable? I can't just make profit, and after a year out, I can not just write a check as my CSR and fix everything that I somehow contributed indirectly to damage. Because certain things take times to heal, especially when it's come to the nature and the human being feelings and everything. So it cannot fix with money. That's one of the reasons I got passionate or whatever you could call it, but I think it's absolutely necessary to do the right thing at the first place. Well, Myanmar has a lot of hidden gem. Myanmar itself is a hidden gem already. One thing that I am amused of when I introduce myself or what we do, where I come from especially, I always say that I come from a place where we live on water on steel houses. We row boat by legs, and that we have gardens which float. And I don't think that there is not many community around the world who could say such things. So I think that there is our ways of life where it's not hidden, but these are very special. Like I'm sure that many other destinations in the world also have. I feel like the world is such a, there's so many things in the world that we can continue to discover. There's so many hidden gems, but I think that sometimes we should not be saying that, oh, I have this kind of way of lifestyle, this is so much better than the other. Au contraire, it is so simple. There are many things that we do that are really valuable. Is those are treasure because of people continue to practice it, those simple things, as long as it is authentic and as long as it is unique in its own way. The simple thing can be hidden gems for me. And so for us in Inle, the fact that being having this lifestyle on the lake, and the lake is so rich, and in terms of like it gives us everything we need. We have fish, we have good weather, we have all these agriculture that we could do because the soil is so fertile here, that all these are treasures of this area. And the same thing, if you go to like Bagan or to Rakhine State or to Karen State, or I mean, so many states and divisions in my country, and each state and division has its own ways of life and culture. It has its own unique destination, but it's also it has a way. They have a unique way of living lifestyle or cuisine, for example. Because I think that one of the hidden gem also is a Burmese cuisine. Not much people knows about that. People think that it's oily food and that's it. But au contraire, we have so many ways of cooking and using all these herbs and leaves from the lake. By the way, this one we can eat as a soup. And so there's so many hidden gems that I cannot just say that which one is the most precious one. I think everything is to be discovered. And again, I will always want to say that hidden gems are a lot of fun. There are many hidden gems to discover. The most important gems that one need to discover is through all this voyage and traveling is discovering self.